Hey everyone, welcome to week 2 of fantasy football. Great first week. Really interesting to be in a 16-team league. But our scoring was actually not as low as I thought it could be. So I guess good job to all of us for drafting good players. If you hear screaming or noise in the background, my daughter literally is sitting right there on the floor. So that's not me making weird noises. It would be her. All right. Typically what I like to do is give out a stud and a dud award each week. And first I'm going to start with my dud award. That goes to you, Seth Scott. And it's kind of not your fault. But you put up an atrocious score. Most teams in the league could have beat you by just using half their players. I'll give you an asterisk though because Bell is like deciding he just wants a bunch of money and is not going to play. No opinion on that, but it's not helpful for you. And then your second best running back, McKinnon, got hurt for the year. So you are immediately starting the season with just bench running backs, and that kind of sucks. So dud of the week. My stud of the week goes to Brock, and it's not, I don't always give the stud and dud out to the highest and lowest score. But in this case, Brock needed the highest score to beat the person he was playing, and he was able to do it. I think the person he played got the second or third highest score in the week. So, Brock, you get it. Good job. Good drafting. The number one pick slot worked out well for you. All right. Now, let's get into this week's matchups. Our very first matchup happens to be me versus Joel. Still division round week. This week and next week is still division games. I'm going to go ahead and give myself the nod on this one. I think Brady will score less against Jacksonville, but I still think he's going to do better than Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think our wide receivers are kind of a wash. And, Joel, you almost got dud last week, and I don't think it's going to be that much better this week. All right, next we have Adam/Ben Romans versus Shane Humphrey. And already starting off with a bang, Andy Dalton, 34 points. And my prediction is Shane cannot overcome that. I think he'll get good games out of some, but not enough for what you're going to match, Ben, with your Dalton one. So, good job. I think you earned yourself the win already. All right, next, within their division, the Coin Brian versus Andrew. And a lot of questions on Brian's side with Rodgers and Jackson and Fournette. But I think they all will play, and I think they'll do well. And all I have to say, though, is I'm interested to see what Fitzpatrick does for Andrew riding that hero game against a Philly team that seems like they're not as good as they were. They have that Super Bowl hangover. But I'm still going to go ahead and give the nod to Brian. I think you'll pick it up and you'll play really well this week. All right. Next is the domination from Brock versus Liam Coy. And I'm going to go ahead and roll with Brock again. I do think Rivers will have another good game because he's against a crappy team. Gurley's going to play well. And I really like Hill. I wanted him in a draft. I think he's going to do well. And I think you won't be able to overcome that with Smith. And I don't think Coleman is that great, even though he is going to get a bigger role this week. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with Brock on that one. Next, we have the Weapon X Factors versus Hugh Jackson's Polar Bear Club. Even though I do think the Browns are much better, I think putting all your eggs in the Browns basket is not good for this week, because if the game plays out as it should, it's going to be heavy passing, which would be good for you, but I don't believe that, just last week, I don't believe that Tyrod can throw it down the field like he needs to really capitalize on Gordon. So, those are my comments, and I think the win there is going to go to Chris Parker, who already had a good showing with A.J. Green. Okay, next is Chris McClung versus Seth Scott. And this one is obvious to me. I'm not going to pick Seth until Le'Veon Bell comes back, most likely. So, Chris, you're going to get the win on that one. It's kind of a layup, I would say. Next is Mike Parr versus Lincoln Mooney. And I'm sorry, my daughter was eating a cord. I'm going to go ahead and give the nod here to Lincoln. Even though he didn't get the Crabtree game, I think with Ben Roethlisberger being at home, Brown will get an even better score than he did. And John Ross was already a dud. And I think Michael Thomas will not be a 32-point scorer this week. I'm interested to see the Browns D, and Denzel Ward seem to play really well. All right, my very last game of the week. I'm glad, Ryan, you're riding the Mahomes. And Flacco didn't do as good as you'd hope. Fred, I think this one's going to be close. You actually are predicted a 101.9 score versus a 102. I think Mahomes will be the difference. I think Pittsburgh defense is not great, not even good, really. I think the rain helped them last week. And mixing it in with Beckham and Emmanuel Sanders with all his targets, I just think you're going to get the win. I think it will be close, but you will get the win. All right, those are my picks for this week. Everyone enjoy your football, enjoy your Sunday, and go Browns!